Hello, my name is Lisa Shea, and this is a series on books, DVDs, CDs, and other things from the Japanese and Chinese cultures. Today we're going to talk about a very well-known classic, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. Informal Talks on Zen Meditation and Practice by Shunryu Suzuki. And this has been around for a long, long time. It was first published in 1970. I'm not sure when my copy is from, I think like 86 or something, if I had to guess. 86. And I've had it clearly for quite a while. And, it may be hard to realize now when our cultures are all so easy to learn about, and there's so many cultures have crossovers, and a lot of people in the US know very much about Japanese culture and Japanese anime and manga and everything else. But there was a time back in 70 when the cultures weren't that well known to each other. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have easy access to foreign films. You had to really go out and do some hunting to be able to find things. And a book like Zen Mind's Beginner's Mind, which wasn't a textbook, but a nice, casual, easy to read discussion about different aspects of Zen Buddhism, was really popular. And it helped a lot of people learn more about meditation and mindfulness and centering yourself and all of those kinds of topics. So while now there are many, many books out on this topic, this is still a really good book to read because the author does a wonderful job of expressing these different aspects of life, and they are just as relevant today as they were when he wrote them in 1970. So again, this is nice and casual. It's not like reading a textbook. It has quotes, and then it has discussions about the different topics on hand. So in the prologue, he starts with beginner's mind. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. And the thought here is that the more that you learn about something, the more you can tend to become set in your ways. And so, if you learn to cook, I don't know, spaghetti, and you cook it day after day, and you determine exactly the right amount of salt and exactly the this and exactly the that, then you may get to the point where you are so set that you're not willing to learn new things. If someone comes along and says, oh, well, what if you try this way? You're like, no, I have got spaghetti down. I'm doing it my way, and my way is the only way. And that can be an unhelpful way to go through life, because there are other options and other things to at least try and think about. So the more that you can keep a beginner's mind about things, that openness to, I want to learn more things and I want to see what kind of options are available, the better that it helps you with everything that you're wanting to do, whether it's learning to play guitar or learning to do watercolor painting or write poetry or anything else in life. The more that you can keep that fresh beginner's mind where you are open to the possibilities and interested in learning different ways to do it from different types of people, the richer that your experience becomes. So for another example, he's talking about meditation here. And he says, mind weeds. You should rather be grateful for the weeds you have in your mind, because eventually they will enrich your practice. And this has to do with the thought that when you're meditating, often you can get frustrated because you're just too distracted. There's so many things going on that you don't think you have time to sit down and meditate, or you sit down and meditate and your mind just keeps jumping all over the place. So why even bother meditating, because you've got all these things that are happening? And what he's trying to say is that it's normal and natural for the mind to jump around. That's what the mind is ready to do. And it's ready to watch for saber-toothed tigers jumping at you, or watch for danger, or all of that other sort of stuff. So it's not being a bad mind when it's doing that. It's being a normal mind. And that activity of the mind gives us something to work with. It gives us a time to be able to pause and say, okay, I've gotten distracted again. I'm going to take in a deep breath, and I'm going to refocus myself on my meditation practice. And without those occasional random thoughts, we wouldn't have something to be working against, sort of like barbells in a weightlifting thing. You need the barbells there because you need something to be working with to be able to train yourself to be stronger. And those random thoughts that come in, the mind weeds, are things that help you realize that you have to get back on track and to help you learn to focus better, and they help you get stronger. So it's better not to denigrate these things that are a normal part of life, but to accept them and say, that's just the way things are. And I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to keep going forward, and I'm going to get better a little bit every day. So there's just all sorts of stuff like that in here, which are very useful, not just for meditating and not just for mindfulness, but for everything that you approach in life. So here's another one about Zen and excitement. It says, Zen is not some kind of excitement, but concentration on our usual everyday routine. And again, this ties in with the concept of mindfulness, that an aim is to be present in the moment, because we can't change the past and we can't change the future because we don't have time machines to go in either direction. What we can affect is this one moment that we're in right now. And this is the only moment that we have any sort of agency in. And the more that you can be present in this moment and think about this moment in a calm, focused manner, the better that you can then keep using moment after moment after moment and make a path towards something that you want to achieve in life, or just have a calm, compassionate life full of whatever your purpose is that you have for yourself. So it's all about this moment we're in, which is the core thought of mindfulness and meditation and a lot of the other aspects of Zen Buddhism and many other points of view from, and there's that the same sort of thing happens in Catholic meditation and Jewish meditation and all of sorts of other religions and ways of life. So this is not necessarily unique to Zen Buddhism, but the way that he's expressing it is hopefully something that can reach every person. So you don't have to be a dedicated Zen Buddhist person to appreciate the things that he's helping you understand through this book. They are hopefully things that underlie pretty much any way of life that you choose to follow. So this book is very helpful. It's not the kind of book that I read, every single month, but I do have it on my shelf and I'll read it, every couple of years to go through it or read a chapter on something and see what I think of it. It's good to go back and just think of some of these things again, because we can know something and then get so distracted with the way that life is going on that we sort of forget about it and not pay attention to it. And then we have to go back and reset ourselves and say, okay, I remember why meditation practice is so helpful to help me be calm and relaxed and focused, and maybe I should add it back into my schedule. And then reading this sort of book helps you get that set up again. So well recommended to have on your shelf as something that you can refer to every once in a while, but not something that I would keep on my bedstand to be reading every single night necessarily, in my case, because I've already read it a couple times. So it's more of a reference book than a daily read for me. So let me know if you have any questions about it. Let me know if you have any other books that you think I should take a look at. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon.